I'm Chris, and for 7 years, Julia and I were a couple. I always believed our bond was unbreakable, the kind of love others envied, often called a perfect match. No marriage is flawless, of course, but I was convinced our foundation, built on love, mutual respect, and shared goals, was rock solid. I still remember the night we met at a friend's party. Julia lit up the room, her vibrant energy and radiant smile drawing everyone in. The moment our eyes locked, I knew I had to know her. From there, our story unfolded fast, dating, marriage, and building a life together. We created a warm home, filled with joyful times and dreams we chased side by side. But as the years passed, I started noticing shifts. They were subtle at first, small signs that, when pieced together, stirred unease. Julia, once so engaged in our shared life, grew distant. Her once spontaneous warmth gave way to quiet moments and excuses about exhaustion. I told myself it was just a phase, a natural ebb and flow after 7 years. I was a devoted husband, working tirelessly to provide comfort, surprising her with thoughtful gestures like her favorite flowers or a special dinner. She seemed to appreciate it, but over time, even those moments felt routine, mechanical. Deep down, I clung to belief that we were fine, that our strong foundation could weather any storm. What I didn't realize was that while I poured my heart into our marriage, Julia was treading a separate path, far from the life we'd built. It started quietly, almost unnoticeably. Trust had always come easily with Julia. 7 years of shared dreams and struggles made it feel instinctive, unshakable. But gradually, things stopped adding up. Small behaviors, once easy to dismiss, began ringing alarm bells in my mind. One of the first red flags was Julia's sudden curiosity about our finances. She'd always been aware of our money, but I'd never been controlling, giving her freedom to manage her expenses. Lately, though, her questions grew pointed. How much is in our joint account? Or, have you considered moving some money to an account in my name? It'd be more practical. At first, I saw no harm in it, thinking she was just planning for our future. But as time went on, her focus didn't seem to include us. She pushed open her own account, urging me to transfer funds for emergencies, she said. One day, while she was out running errands, a casual comment that left me uneasy. I did something out of character. I checked her computer. It wasn't about invading her privacy. I just needed answers for the nagging feeling in my gut. What I found made my pulse race. Recent searches like how to transfer money from a joint account without consent, and what happens if a spouse refuses divorce papers. My stomach twisted. Was I overreacting? Maybe she was just curious. But then I stumbled on a messaging app conversation with a friend I'd never fully trusted, but respected for Julia's sake. The words on the screen hit like a punch. He doesn't suspect a thing. A few more weeks, and I'll get him to transfer the money. Then I can leave without needing anyone. If he pushes back, I know how to handle him. Her friend replied, what if he gets suspicious? Julia's response was chilling. Doesn't matter. I've got it all planned. If he questions me, I'll make him feel guilty. It's worked before. Those words, it's worked before, echoed like a storm in my mind. Had she been manipulating me all along, twisting my emotions to make me doubt myself? Everything clicked. Her weak excuses, the way she'd make me feel at fault. It was all part of a larger scheme. Julia wasn't just planning to end our marriage. She was plotting to leave me with nothing, draining our accounts while using emotional tactics to cover her tracks. In that moment, anger, betrayal, and a strange resolve settled over me. This wasn't the time to lash out or confront her without a strategy. If she was playing a game, I'd have to outsmart her. I started gathering evidence, knowing Julia's knack for twisting stories to her advantage. I'd seen it in countless arguments where she'd make me question my own reality. This time, I'd be prepared. I took photos of the messages and searches, each one a piece of the puzzle revealing her betrayal. Sitting in my chair, staring into space, I realized the woman I loved, my partner, had been scheming behind my back. It wasn't just emotional betrayal. It was a violation of trust and loyalty, everything I thought we stood for. That day, I vowed Julia wouldn't win. If she wanted to play dirty, I'd show her I could be sharper. She didn't know it yet, But the game had shifted, and I was ready to make a move she'd never see coming. After uncovering Julia's plan, I knew I had to act fast but carefully. Confronting her without a plan would let her spin the narrative, and I couldn't risk that. She was cunning, likely already prepared with excuses if caught. So I turned to my uncle Raul, the family's go-to for tough problems. A retired lawyer with years of legal and financial expertise. He had a knack for cutting through chaos with calm clarity. That afternoon I called him, keeping it vague but urgent. He invited me over, saying, "Bring everything you've got. We'll sort out." His steady voice eased my nerves. At his house, I laid it all out, the screenshots, her suspicious searches, her odd behavior. Raul listened without interrupting, his eyes sharp with focus. When I finished, he leaned back, exhaled, and said, "You were smart not to confront her yet, Chris. Acting on impulse would have tipped her off." "What now?" I asked, desperation creeping in. "I can't just wait for her to ruin me." "Stay calm," he replied. "We'll handle this methodically. First, organize your evidence. Messages, searches, anything unusual. That's your foundation if this goes to court." He grabbed a notepad and outlined the next steps. Consult a family and financial law specialist he trusted. Monitor Julia's moves discreetly and secure our accounts. "Go to the bank tomorrow," he advised. "Change the joint account password and transfer some funds to an account in your name only. Talk to your lawyer first, but stay ahead of her." His words gave me a sense of control I hadn't felt since this began. "When do I confront her?" I asked. "Only when you're ready," he said firmly. "With evidence, protected finances, and a clear plan. This isn't about anger. It's about showing her the game's up." He placed a hand on my shoulder, his voice steady. "This is tough, Chris. Learning someone you love could do this hurts, but you're stronger than you know. Keep a clear head, and you'll come out on top." His words sparked hope. As I left, I felt ready to take charge, determined to set the rules in this new game. The next morning, I woke early, Julia still asleep, unaware of my discoveries. Over coffee, I mentally mapped my priorities. Secure the money, watch her actions, gather more evidence. Keeping calm would be tough, but strategy was key. I headed to the bank, rehearsing my words to sound firm but not frantic. Meeting the manager, a polite middle-aged man, I explained I needed to protect our joint account due to a sensitive issue. I'd like to restrict access and move a portion of the funds to an account in my name, I said, tension in my voice. He nodded, efficient and discreet. "We can add protections so only you authorize large transactions, and we'll handle the transfer quietly." Within half an hour, the first step was done. Our money was safe. Next, I visited the lawyer Raul recommended, a no-nonsense professional who'd seen cases like mine before. I showed him the evidence, messages, searches, and notes on Julia's behavior. He reviewed it carefully, asking pointed questions. "You're doing this right, Chris," he said. "This shows intent to manipulate, possibly defraud. Keep monitoring her without tipping her off. The more evidence, the stronger your case." He suggested discreet monitoring software for her computer, a risky but necessary move. That evening, back home, Julia sat in the living room, watching TV, oblivious. "Everything okay?" she asked, noticing my quiet demeanor. "Just a long day," I said, forcing a smile she bought. Sitting beside her, I watched this woman I'd loved, now a stranger plotting against me. The betrayal stung, but it fueled my resolve. With the money secured and legal support in place, I was ahead. Julia thought she held the cards, but soon she'd see how wrong she was. That night, I decided it was time to end it. With enough evidence, protected finances, and guidance from Raul and my lawyer, I was ready for the final confrontation. I got home early, catching Julia off guard in the kitchen, scrolling her phone, calm as if her plan was on track. Her smile, once so genuine, now fell hollow. "You're home early," she said, trying to sound casual. "Yeah, work wrapped up quick," I replied, tossing my keys down and sitting on the couch, gauging the moment. The air felt heavy with tension only I could sense. "Julia, we need to talk," I said, my voice steady but firm. She looked up, curious. "About What? Us. About everything you've been doing behind my back, I said, locking eyes with her. Her smile vanished, replaced by wariness. What are you talking about? Don't act clueless, Julia. I know it all. The messages, the searches, your plan to take our money and leave me like I'm nothing. She froze, scrambling for words. I don't know what you mean, she stammered, her voice shaky. Oh, I said, standing and placing an envelope of evidence on the table. It's all here, every message, every search. Did you think I was that naive? Her hand shook as she opened the envelope, her face paling with each page. Chris, this isn't what it seems, she started, but I cut her off. Enough. I gave everything to this marriage, built a life for us, and you plotted to take it all. How could you? Tears streamed down her face. I was confused, Chris. I didn't mean to. Confused? I scoffed. You had a plan to manipulate me. Make me feel guilty if I questioned you. That's not confusion. It's cruelty. She sobbed, falling to her knees, begging. Please, Chris, we can fix this. I'll never do it again. I stepped back. You made your choice, Julia. It's over. Your things are packed. I'm filing for divorce tomorrow and you'll sign it. No games. Her cries grew louder, but I stayed resolute. I walked upstairs, leaving her to process it. Soon, I heard her dragging a suitcase. At the door, eyes swollen, she whispered, I didn't want it to end like this. But it did, I said coldly, and that's on you. When the door closed, relief and sorrow mixed within me. Ending 7 years wasn't easy, but it was right. Julia tried to ruin me, but she lost everything. That night, I slept soundly, ready for a new chapter free of lies. A year later, my life had transformed. I rebuilt my routine, focused on work, and found peace. Julia was a lesson learned, a chapter closed. One afternoon, a message from Gilroy, a mutual friend who occasionally mentioned Julia, caught me off guard. Chris, I need to tell you something about Julia. Not sure if you want to know, but it's important. My heart skipped, but I replied, Go ahead. In a cautious voice message, he said, Julia's in trouble. She got involved with a guy known for financial scams. They were arrested partners in the scheme. I sat still, processing. Julia arrested? It was shocking yet unsurprising, given her manipulative streak. I called Gilroy. Tell me more. He explained a legal contact mentioned a case involving a couple scamming investors. Julia's name came up. It's serious, he said. She was fully aware, actively involved. She's in deep. The news made me reflective, not out of pity, but as a reminder of her patterns. I'd ignored so many signs during our marriage. Now, paired with someone as cunning as her, she'd fallen hard. That's rough, I said, but she chose this path. Gilroy asked how I was. Better than ever, I replied. This taught me what I deserve and won't tolerate. Julia's my past, and I'm at peace. Hanging up, I felt relief, a confirmation that cutting her out was right. While I rebuilt, she spiraled. I didn't wish her harm, but she had no place in my life. Gratitude filled me for overcoming, learning, and moving forward into a hopeful future. After the chaos of our split, I gained something priceless, a fresh start. With Julia gone, I had space to focus on myself, my ambitions, and the person I wanted to be. It wasn't easy at first. The emptiness of her absence reorganized my life, and healing from her betrayal took effort. But I chose to transform, not just recover. I started with my health, joining a gym and hiring a trainer. Those early workouts were grueling, but each session left me stronger, more confident. I revamped my diet, learning to cook nutritious meals, which boosted my energy and mood. Seeing my progress in the mirror reminded me I was in charge. I also invested in my mind, enrolling in management and business courses I'd always wanted to explore. Learning opened new doors, and at work, my focus led to promotion. My career, once stagnant, became a source of pride. I rebuilt my social life, reconnecting with old friends and joining a running group. What started as exercise became a community of inspiring people who lifted me up. Over time, I felt healthier, wiser, and genuinely happy. The weight of betrayal lifted, replaced by freedom to be myself. Looking back, I could have let Julia's actions break me, but I chose to rise. Every achievement was mine, proof I'd made the right call. My life wasn't perfect, but it was mine, filled with growth, freedom, and hope, untouchable by any challenge.